Crypto industry insider says Donald Trump could try to ban Bitcoin once it hits $100,000. We're going to tell you what that means and how Donald Trump could try to do that, along with all the rest of the top Bitcoin and crypto news of the day. Welcome to BitBoy Crypto, powered by BitBoyCrypto.com. Today, we have a very interesting video for you guys talking about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency stories that are affecting the landscape in a big way. So most of these stories you can find on BitBoyCrypto.com, but some of the stories we're going to be looking at today. Trump could ban Bitcoin like e-cigarettes. We're going to talk about that, what it means, and how it could be done. We're also going to be taking a look at Watford FC adding Bitcoin to their logo in a sports first. We're going to be looking at Bakkt stalling the market, but we're going to show you how we know that institutional interest in Bitcoin is definitely very high. And last but not least, we're going to be taking a look at cryptocurrency growing in Cuba. So without further ado, let's get started. Before, though, we do get started, make sure that you click the subscribe button so you get these stories every day. Not many YouTubers are putting out their own crypto stories on the web, so make sure you guys check out BitBoyCrypto.com, and also make sure to hit the subscribe button so you get stories like this every single day. So here we go, guys. Trump could ban Bitcoin like e-cigarettes, says prominent venture capitalist. Now, this is by Tom Lee, one of the most memed people in all of crypto, for his outlandish Bitcoin projections from last year that all turned out to be false. However, he is very connected in the Wall Street world and also in the cryptocurrency world. So what is this based on? This is based on an executive order signed by Donald Trump that could ban Bitcoin the way he's trying to ban e-cigarettes. And I know what you're thinking. You can't ban Bitcoin. It's open source code. You're right. You really can't ban it. However, the government could impose a ban. That doesn't mean that you have to follow it. However, if people were to start going to jail for Bitcoin mining and cryptocurrency mining, a story I talked about in my last War on Bitcoin video, which you can watch by clicking right up above, hey, people would really start to second think things. And also, even though a ban may not be very effective, the fact is that we've seen with China cryptocurrency bans that it does affect the market in a big way. So regardless of whether it was successful or not, it would affect the market. And I think a lot of people could make the argument that a Bitcoin ban in the United States could actually make Bitcoin and cryptocurrency stronger. So very interesting. So Tom Lee, the managing partner at Fundstat Global, believes the White House could issue an executive order banning Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. While Lee noted he wasn't expecting it as of now, the ban imposed on e-cigarettes means the U.S. could ban anything. So e-cigarettes have been a very popular topic because 6 people have died from a lung infection very suddenly. Now, it's weird, though, that the smoking lobbyists still managed to get smoking legal with cigarettes, the cigarette lobbyists, considering that hundreds of thousands of people die every year from lung cancer caused by cigarettes. So here's something very interesting is that he said that some user cc.catch here, and then Tom Lee agreed with him, suggested that the crucial threshold would be Bitcoin hitting $100,000. That's what we all want, right? Well, that could trigger a ban. At that point, the U.S. government would likely ban the use of Bitcoin. Commentators suggested even Lee himself thought a ban at 100,000 could happen. So definitely very interesting that this 100,000 number is being, thrown out there as a number to be careful of. Could we see the price stall out right before that? Could we see another bear market come in? Maybe a Bitcoin start approaching those numbers. It definitely could happen because 100,000 is a big number. So ultimately, my opinion on this, you can't ban Bitcoin. You can try. We've seen it done all across the world, but you can't ban Bitcoin because I've said it before and I'll say it again. Bitcoin is an idea. You cannot kill an idea. So it's an idea of decentralization, privacy. Of course, the Monero people would argue with that. I had an interesting conversation the other day on the Monero Talk YouTube channel about that. But, all things taken in the bubble here, I don't think this can happen. They can try it. It won't work. And I don't think Donald Trump really would go through this because I think he's smart enough. You may disagree, but I do think he's smart enough to realize that couldn't actually work the way that you can ban a physical product like e-cigarettes. So here we go. Watford FC adds Bitcoin logo to jersey in a sports first. This is the first major sports team. The Watford FC is in the Premier League. It is soccer, or as my 6 to 8 year old girls call it, that I coach in soccer, football. You may call it that too. They like saying it because it sounds funny. We like to call it soccer here. But they have added the Bitcoin logo to the jersey. So yesterday, they announced here on an Instagram post, Watford FC, they're of the Premier League. They're going to have a Bitcoin logo on the side of their shirt. And I'm going to tell you why I absolutely love this. And I think that sportsbet.io, which you may not like sports betting, they're doing exactly what we need in crypto. Okay, they're getting the name out. They are pushing Bitcoin. They're choosing to put a Bitcoin logo instead of their own logo on the sleeve. They do have their own logo, as you can see here in the middle of the jersey, but they're promoting Bitcoin because it's obviously good for people that want to gamble on sports. It's a way to transact, especially if you don't live in a country that allows it. But what is so significant about this, in my opinion, is that Watford and sportsbet.io have launched a Bitcoin education website. I said that weird. Education. Get educated. They have launched a Bitcoin education website to increase fans' Bitcoin knowledge. The website offers an explanation of what Bitcoin is and how fans can make their own Bitcoin purchases. Now, I think this is absolutely huge, guys. Here is the website, bitcoin.watford.fc or bitcoin.watford. I'm going to say it right, guys. I don't know these teams. I don't know international soccer. Bitcoin.watfordfc.com. I'm going to get it right, I swear. But they've made this website where people can learn about Bitcoin. In my research I've done, doing interviews on the street and trying to teach people about what Bitcoin is and find out what the public knows, it's not much. It's not enough just to put a logo on the jersey. And they have gotten it right here by making this education website, and I'm really excited about it. I think this could be something that could put Bitcoin more in the mainstream and then also follow it up with the education that has to occur. So, okay, guys, let's move on and look at this story. Backed launch stalls Bitcoin. Now, I'm going to tell you why I believe that institutional investment is coming. It's coming hot and heavy, and it is a very, they're very interested, the institutions are, in getting in on this. So, backed launch stalls Bitcoin. On Tuesday, which is several days ago now, backed warehouse opened and clients were able to deposit funds into accounts. However, minutes after the tweet announced the opening, the price of Bitcoin dropped by $700, a classic example of buying the rumor and selling the news, in which traders and investors buy an asset with the expectation of a positive outcome from a future event. I don't really believe that, guys. Now, that's on my website. That's what it says. We've seen this in the past. I personally, this was written by a contributor on the website. I personally do not believe this was an example of buy the rumor, sell the news. That's the smokescreen. The institutional investors want to push the price down. Now, why do I say this? I just don't believe that there are people out there who are sitting there holding on to Bitcoin, waiting for this backed launch so all of a sudden they can dump their Bitcoin. I just don't think people are looking at it like that. I could be wrong. Drop your comments down below and let me know if I'm wrong on this and you think that is actually what happened. But what I do want to show you here is I do want to show you the institutional investment interest, okay? And why this is not people all across the country like you and me that don't live in, financial hotspots talking about institutional interest, and it's not there. I'm going to prove to you that it is real. So here we go. Why are institutions paying top dollar for Grayscale's Bitcoin Trust? Now, you may not know what Grayscale's Bitcoin Trust is, so I'm going to explain it to you. It was really hot back in April, and it is gaining attention again. Institutional investors are paying high premiums for shares of the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, GBTC, which allows them to bet on Bitcoin without holding the asset itself, kind of like paper Bitcoins, right? That's what the futures contracts in 2017 from CME were. You didn't have to hold Bitcoin to have those contracts, so you're really able to bet on it without holding the asset. GBTC is an investment vehicle which tracks the spot price of Bitcoin, providing investors from mainstream finance with a familiar means to gain exposure. So that is what this is. Now, one cool thing to pay attention to here is that there is a premium right now to get in on this, which is showing that is a bullish sign. You're basically having to pay more for the shares than they're worth to get in, and that shows that these institutional investors know that it is important to get in on Bitcoin right now. Now, is that the proof I want to show you? Absolutely not. I'm going to show you the proof right here. This is something we're going to be doing more of, which is showing the Google trends. Now, this is the Google trend for Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, and now this is over the last 7 days. Now, when you look at this chart here, you may see all of these dead spots here. And these dead spots here, it says 0. That doesn't mean that there's 0 search volume for Grayscale Bitcoin Trust during those times. That just means relative to other popular searches on Google, it's not doing that well. So you can see over the last 7 days, like here on September the 8th at 3 a.m. or at 4 a.m., it was actually at 100, which means it was at the top of Google search volume in terms of popularity for that hour, which is really weird, right? 4 a.m. That is a weird time, but that is the way these Google trends work. Now, what I want to show you guys is where is this interest? Looky here. We're looking at Florida. We're looking at Texas, where it's kind of interesting. And then we're looking at California, that's very interested in it. And of course, New York. Where are all the major financial companies? Guess what? New York and California. That means that the people that are interested in this are not people like me in Georgia. They're like, oh, I need some institutional hopium. No, this is real. Investors in New York and investors in California are looking into this. And like I said, this premium that has been put on it shows a very bullish signal. So definitely something you guys want to pay attention to. So here we go, guys. Last story of the day. Cryptocurrency's growing popularity in Cuba. Now, we haven't talked about Cuba before on the channel. We have talked a lot about Latin America, but not the Caribbean, or the Caribbean, as some people call it. But there's growing interest in Cuba, and it makes perfect sense. So Cubans are using cryptocurrency. This is a surprising development, especially for a country who just unrolled mobile internet. Reuters reports that the rollout of mobile internet nearly a year ago has opened the way for cryptocurrency transactions, and this is very important. And enthusiasts have multiplied as the currency helps overcome obstacles created by U.S. sanctions on Cuba. So this could be a way that businesses in Cuba could do business with American customers without having to get the US dollar involved, and it gets around sanctions. What's even more exciting for the Cuban people is that the government has indicated that it will also explore cryptocurrencies. We've seen this before with countries like Argentina, Venezuela. Their people get interested, and many of those governments shut down the idea of cryptocurrency, or at least make it harder for them to buy it, which once again puts the premium on the price in South America for Bitcoin. But the Cuban government has said they're interested in it. So, of course, the Cuban government, along with the Iranian government and the North Korean government, countries that the U.S. has sanctions on, could see this as a way to get around those sanctions. Now, I'm a patriot. I do love America, and I do love my country. And I'm not advocating, yes, it's great these countries get away sanctions. I think these countries, specifically Iran and North Korea, have done terrible atrocities across the world. And I definitely don't think that, I don't advocate for them getting around sanctions. I would like to see those governments punished for the reason that it could make the people rise up and take over in a coup or whatever it might be. So that's what I would like to see in those countries. Cuba's a little bit different. Yes, they were against the United States heavily, during the Cuban Missile Crisis. They were in bed with Russia. They probably still are to some extent. But, the Cuban people, are definitely a great people. And, it's really cool that travel got opened up recently to Cuba. And, I hope to see this relationship strengthen, and we can kind of get over the stuff in the past. And then maybe the Cuban government will also kind of get on board with, maybe some kind of easing of tensions between the United States and Cuba, because they are right next to Florida. So definitely something to pay attention to and very interesting story. So hope you guys enjoyed this. If you enjoyed this video, smash the like button, but don't break your computer because I know it costs a lot of money. Also, make sure you're a subscriber to our channel because, hey, why wouldn't you want to watch content like this every single day? So hope you guys enjoyed this video. BitBoy out.